Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When you join or we join an organization, a group, we enter a relationship, we give up some of our liberties, freedoms, and we gain something else, protection, and whatever perks are coming out of that relationship or organization, group, whatever that could be considered. In this case, when a country, let's say Serbia, would like to join NATO or would like to join the European Union, it will have to, follow certain policies, the admission policies and process. And once they get, if they get accepted into the European Union or NATO, they will have to follow certain kind of, as I said, give up some of your freedom, because you can't do whatever you want at that point. You have to discuss with your partners or whatever institutions are within that organization. This article is about Serbia, and there's two issues here with the Serbia. I have two articles, and one is about Serbia that I think is blackmailed or at least threatened by the European Union with consequences if it doesn't sign the deal with Kosovo. You know what that means. So it's either or. The problem here is not Kosovo. The problem here is not the European Union. The problem here is Serbia, because Serbia is the one who wants to be part of the EU, and not EU drags Serbia by force. So we'll see how Serbia will maneuver this one. And then we have the other article right here from Russia Today. Ukraine conflict will soon spread, Serbian president states. Serbian president is Alexander Vucic, and we're going to find out how he manages that and how did he come to that assessment. So let's get going. Let's go to the first article and see how much freedom will Serbia have to make or give up in order to be part of European Union, if the Serb population will be willing to sign a kind of recognition of Kosovo more than they didn't recognize anything anyway, but probably they will have to recognize something. And I know how willing the Serbs are. But hey, let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Here we are. Reuters. This is from January 26, 2023. Sign deal or face consequences. EU envoy tells Kosovo/Serbia. Now, what do you think it tells Serbia? And what do you think it tells Kosovo? Okay. The EU Special Representative for Belgrade-Pristina Dialogue, Miroslav Lajcak. And then Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz. That's that guy right here. Ba-da-da-dam. All right. Attend a Western Balkans conference at the Chancellery in Vienna, Austria. That was in June 2021. I guess the picture. Pristina, January 26th. Kosovo and Serbia should state by March whether they accept an international plan to normalize relations or face repercussions from the European Union and United States, the EU's envoy on the matter said on Wednesday. Okay, I got it. These are your parents. These are mommy and daddy, and Serbia will have to listen to whatever they say. Otherwise, they're gonna punch you in the face again, like they did in 1999, because that's how democracy, freedom, and justice is spread by this club. And everybody should attend this club, right? Okay. Kosovo declared independence from Serbia in 2008, a decade after a guerrilla uprising against Belgrade's repressive rule. Okay, well, this is Reuters' interpretation of the facts, ignoring others would really add to this poor exemplification of whatever happened. in Serbia. Over the past decade, the two have been holding normalization talks under EU mediation, with a successful outcome key to realizing the aspiration of both to join the wealthy bloc. So you're going to be a wealthy slave, basically. You're going to be part of the European Union, but you will do whatever the guys in Brussels, foreigners, will tell you to do with your traditions, your laws, your country. Well, we'll see. Last week, EU, US, German, French, and Italian envoys have met leaders of both countries to try to convince them to sign an 11-point deal meant to diffuse tensions lingering since the 1998 and 1999 conflict. When it was bombarded by the NATO organization, defense organization, treaty, right? Defense organization. Western powers have become impatient with the intransigence of both sides, fearing that frequent strife between minority Serbs in North Kosovo and the minority Serbs in North Kosovo and the majority ethnic Albanian government of Pristina could degenerate into a wider conflict. Asked by Pristina-based clan Kosova TV in an interview what would happen if the plan was not accepted by one party, EU envoy Miroslav Lašček said, and I'm quoting, "The international community." Well, if it's an international community, is Russia part of the international community? Is North Korea part of the international community? Is Zimbabwe? Is Sudan? Is, I don't know, Japan? The international community will respond accordingly, and we will support one party more and will shorten support for the other party. What I don't know about the international community. Like the international community speaks in one united voice. BS. Laščák said if either country expressly rejected the deal, they would suffer a drop in political and economic support. That means we're not independent, I'm guessing, as well as a reduction in new investment by the West. But I thought that investment is based on private property and private corporations, not by state. So why would you lose that? Oh, because the countries, the free countries with free enterprise will tell their businesses you can't go and invest over there because we tell you so. Correct? Because we're going to put some sanctions because they don't do what we want them to do. And we want to solve it. They are told like this: Serbia, you recognize Kosovo, that's the first move. Without that, Serbia will not get into the European Union. I guarantee you that. They will be having this option, either or. Is that how you want to be treated? What makes you think, Serbia, that once you get in the European Union, you would become equal with everybody else in the European Union? Look how the Hungarians are treated in the European Union. Or look, any other country in Europe that would challenge something that Brussels says or does. Even Poland. Remember Poland? Yeah, they're those guys who are the American friends in Europe. It's like the Trojan Horse, really the Trojan Horse of United States in the European Union, not community. There's no community. I mean, it is a community, but it's not a united community anyway. So look at that. Until they did some reforms, they were, again, I would say, this is my term I will use, blackmailed by those guys over there to change. They did not unfreeze some billions of dollars that gave to the weasels who accepted those changes in the name of the new values of Europe and some judicial, I think, a justice system and so on. Which I'm okay with certain things, but hey, I haven't been asked, but I can still yap around. Now, let's go to the second article here, where Vucic says that the war or the conflict will soon spread. So we have here this article from Russia Today from the 23rd of January 2023. Ukraine conflict will soon spread, Serbian president. Belgrade is under pressure because the West wants to focus on Russia, says Alexander Vucic. Yeah. Belgrade is facing pressure from the US, EU and NATO over Kosovo because of the conflict in Ukraine, which is likely to escalate soon, Serbian President Alexander Vucic told the nation on Monday evening. He said the West was rewarding the ethnic Albanian authorities in the breakaway province for their campaign of violence against the Serbs. Vucic spoke after meeting with the leadership of his ruling party, addressing the, and I'm quoting, proposal, in quotation marks, by the West requiring Serbia to accept the breakaway province membership in international organizations, such as the UN, EU, and NATO, or else. He said the document, and I'm quoting, hardly contains anything we would be happy about. It's okay. They determined that you should do that. All right, the Serbian president explained that the EU is de facto at war in Ukraine, so it wants its quote-unquote backyard, including Serbia, to be brought to heel. His feeling, however, was that the conflict, and I'm quoting, won't calm down but will only spread, end quote. We all know that one. And I'm quoting, you see it now. It's not just Russia versus Ukraine. Soon it will spread to other territories. It is up to us that our country isn't among them, end quote, he said. Other territories, not, that spread the war. Vucic lamented the willingness of the West to listen to reason. They have the power. The US has the power. They don't have to reason with you. They want to punch you in the face and make you do it. Or threaten you, blackmail you, little regime change, and then 1999 bombardment. Illegal, by the way. Even after it was clear that all recent incidents in Kosovo were caused by the ethnic Albanian authorities in Pristina. I don't know, I can't comment on that one. So, if Serbia refuses, the EU will halt all integration processes, reimpose a visa regime, stop all new investments, and withdraw all the current ones. Vucic warned that would be worse than any sanctions, and he would prefer a compromise to, I'm quoting, accepting everything right away, he said. And I'm quoting again, you know what it would mean for Serbia to be isolated in any way, end quote, Vucic said, referring to the sanctions imposed in the 1990s during the Yugoslav wars. He also noted that this is his last term as president and he would not be loath to resign if that would mean protecting the country or buying time. NATO troops took control of Kosovo in 1999 after nearly 3 months of bombing Serbia on behalf of ethnic Albanian insurgents. The province's provisional government declared independence in 2008, but Belgrade has so far resisted US and the EU pressure to recognize it, relying on support from Russia and China, the bad dudes, I guess, right? Right. So, Vucic threatens. He says, well, they blackmail us with this because we want that. And even if, it seems like even if Serbia would not want to integrate itself in the European community, right, and the European Union, they will still impose sanctions. And he warned, look, if that's going to happen, we're going to have another embargo as we had with the sanctions in the 1990s, and which was bad. So then what are we going to do? You see how this thing functions? You see how it works? They would exterminate you economically, or attack you economically. What can you do? You want to have this kind of friends around you? If we consider them friends. You want to be in this kind of organization that does this kind of things? Remember, let's say you're part of NATO, and NATO decides to attack, let's say, or defend itself from China. Or, I don't know, do something to Hungary. Will you participate in that? Even if you think it's wrong, would you participate in that? Well, they will tell you you have to. Otherwise, blackmail and threats. So, it's hard, especially when you're a small country. But look, Russia is a big country. Russia is a strong country militarily, has resources. It can survive. It has friends. It has allies. It has the whole world out there, except from the about 40 countries that are under the of the big boss, and still, it fights against these guys. But Serbia, Hungary. But I just want to point out how this thing is ran. It's not, when you hear, oh, freedom and democracy, and they come and, deliver beautiful speeches over there, and they talk about the world community, they talk about the rule-based world order, and all the international law, and the country's sovereignty and independence, are paramount, should not be violated, But then you got sanctions, you got blackmails, you got straight regime change, you got straight bombardments and straight invasion. Look, in the past, 30 years, I dare you. This is the way the world operates under Pax Romana, Pax US. Is that how you want it? Or you just now arranging it for the future, which is going to be just milk and honey pot, right? Is that how it's going to be? Come on. I mean, you can't just say, I'm going to just make a few crimes here and there, but then I'm going to be a perfect guy after I take care of the bad stuff. Look what the communists did, the Bolsheviks. Well, we want to bring, this and that. What they do after 1918. Was that? And look at Stalin. For this and that, what happened? And not only that, but that's just some examples. So the past 30 years don't tell me a better future if we are to, better future for the rest of those weasels. Because if you're in the United States, I guess you're okay. To a certain extent, you're going to still be a modern slave, work and, pay taxes and do what they tell you to do, go and consume, being all the time under there if they want, and all that. But you're going to have more food, which looks like food, tastes like food, smells like food, but not really food. You're going to have that. You're going to get fat like a whale, right? You're going to have the beer, everything okay. You're going to have on the TV, you get your games and your stupid shows, and that's all you need to do. Work, pay your taxes, consume, eat, and nowadays they give you marijuana and other things. So you can be, I feel so good. Yeah, okay. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Let's fuck. Anyway, basically. And then you make children, and then who's going to take care of them? The hardworking people. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. Look for the truth and be just.